Sexism at play? How female athletes are questioned differently from male counterparts. Eileen Gu has been in the spotlight for reasons that go beyond her performances on the slopes. She is not only captivating to watch in competition, but also commands attention at press conferences while creating some of the internet's most talked about moments. At 22, with 6 medals to her name, including 3 golds, she is already the most decorated freeskier in history of the Games. Gen Z has dubbed her a queen and a champion for shutting down sexist comments and speaking openly about mental health at press conferences. Also a Stanford University student, she most recently talked about how she applies an analytical lens to her own thinking and modifies it. When asked about her thought process, Gu said, "You can control what you think. You can control how you think. And therefore, you can control who you are," she said, adding that with every step, she becomes the person that me at age 8 would revere. However, her most viral moment from the Milan Cortina Olympics was when she laughed off a question put forward by a journalist, deeming it ridiculous. A reporter asked whether she viewed her 2 medal wins at the Winter Olympics as 2 silvers gained or 2 golds lost. She laughed at the reporter's question and replied, "I'm the most decorated female freeskier in history. I think that speaks for itself." She went on to say that winning a medal at the Olympics is a life-changing experience for every athlete, adding the 2 medals lost situation, to be quite frank with you, is kind of a ridiculous perspective to take. Eileen Gu became the most decorated freestyle skiing Olympian this season, earning her 4th and 5th Olympic medals. She had previously won 3 medals, 1 gold and 2 silvers, at the 2022 Beijing Games, becoming the first freestyle skier to claim 3 medals at a single Olympics. The question posed to her ignited an online debate over the contrasting ways male and female athletes are interviewed. They would never ask a male athlete such questions. One comment read, "Sexism, ever present, often manifests in constant comparisons to male counterparts, commentary on appearance or attire, and rigid beauty standards, challenges that female athletes face worldwide." At the Australian Open in 2015, an interviewer asked Duane Bouchard to give us a twirl. Bouchard and Serena Williams were both asked to show off their outfits on court after second-round victories. However, Canadian Bouchard responded, "I'm not offended. I'm fine with being asked to twirl if they ask the guys to flex." 12-time Grand Slam champion Billie Jean King described the male interviewer's request as truly sexist. Furthermore, female athletes are often placed on a pedestal where a single mistake can trigger relentless scorn, with viewers and spectators showing far less empathy for their performance than they would for a male athlete in the same situation. Last year, when the Indian women's cricket team lost 3 consecutive matches in the Women's ODI World Cup, a torrent of criticism was directed at them, with people on the internet questioning the team's commitment and intent, with some even commenting, "Go back to the kitchen." It often takes male players to come to their rescue. Former India cricketer Akash Chopra had replied to one of the tweets stating that the female cricketers should be trolled. Criticism of their performance is warranted. "There's no justification for trolling anyone ever," Chopra said. However, these debates extend beyond mere performance, wins, and losses. They also often involve comparing female teams to their supposedly superior male counterparts. Royal Challengers Bangalore captain Smriti Mandhana went viral during a press conference when questioned about sharing the same jersey number as Virat Kohli. Mandhana smiled and said, "We are here to talk about WPL, so let's stick to women's cricket." Divya Deshmukh, an Indian chess grandmaster, in a lengthy social media post, shared her disappointment over the sexist behavior she faced from spectators at the Tata Steel Masters, saying they focused on irrelevant things like her hair, clothes, and accent during the tournament. "I was quite disappointed to see how everything was discussed about in my interviews, by the audience, except my games. Very few people paid attention to it, and it is quite a sad thing. I felt it was unfair in a way because if I go to any guy's interview there would be way less judgment on a personal level, actual compliments about the game and the player." She has cited sexism at play. How female athletes are questioned differently from their male counterparts. The final whistle blows. The crowd erupts. Cameras rush forward like a tidal wave, hungry for reaction. An athlete stands breathless, sweat shining under stadium lights, heart still racing from victory or defeat. The first question comes quickly. To the male athlete, walk us through that final play. What was going through your mind? To the female athlete, How does it feel to inspire young girls watching you tonight? At first glance, both questions seem harmless, encouraging, even. But beneath the surface lies a subtle, persistent divide. A divide that reveals how deeply sexism still plays its game in sports. The different standard of seriousness. Male athletes are treated as professionals first. Female athletes are often treated as symbols first. When a male basketball player scores 40 points, the analysis centers on his technique, decision-making, tactical awareness, and leadership. Analysts dissect his footwork in slow motion. Commentators praise his basketball IQ. When a female basketball player scores 40 points, the conversation often drifts. She is described as passionate, emotional, or inspirational. Her performance is framed as a triumph over doubt rather than a demonstration of mastery. This subtle difference matters. Men are assumed to belong. Women are assumed to represent. A male athlete's performance is seen as an extension of his skill. A female athlete's performance is often treated as a breakthrough, as though excellence is unexpected. The implication is quiet but clear. Men compete, women prove. Questions that reveal bias. Listen carefully to post-game interviews and press conferences. The differences are not accidental. Male athletes are asked, "What adjustments did you make in the second half? How did you read their defensive formation? What's your strategy going into the next round?" Female athletes are frequently asked, "How do you balance family and sports? What was it like overcoming self-doubt? What message do you have for young girls?" Notice the pattern. Men are questioned about tactics and performance. Women are questioned about emotions and personal life. Rarely is a male tennis player asked how he balances fatherhood with his career. Rarely is a male soccer star asked about the color of his outfit before a match. Yet Serena Williams was once asked about her intimidating physique. Olympic gymnast Simone Biles has been questioned more about her smile and composure than about the physics-defying complexity of her routines. Female soccer players are asked about equal pay struggles more often than about defensive formations.